Hey YouTubers, Grimmy here, and this is the video review for the Transformers Age of Extinction Evolution of Optimus Prime 2-pack. Finally, the last of the Evolution 2-packs has arrived, and it is none other than the leader of the Autobots himself, Optimus Prime. And representing his movie form is Evasion mode Optimus Prime, and representing his G1 self is Classics Optimus Prime from 2006. But I think it's time we actually took a closer look at these guys. So we're going to start off with Movie Prime. So let's get him out of the way, and let's take a look. Now, Evasion mode Optimus is, the same semi-cab that the retail release had, but this time he's actually painted in a color scheme that matches his movie forms a lot closer, having the blue flames decorated on the cab of the truck, and a little bit more silver, and even some more nods to the G1 toy, being these yellow bits on the bumper. Now, other than that, it's pretty straightforward, And honestly, this is the more flawed of the two, especially when you look at the paint job on him. While the blue flame effect is nice, the cab mode seems to suffer a bit as far as paint details. The mirrors and side windows aren't painted at all, and there are two silver bits at the top which kind of break up the look a little bit too much. Now granted, Movie Optimus had some silver silver bits on the top, but yeah, I mean, for this mode it doesn't quite work. Now, for comparison, we'll bring in the standard Evasion mode Optimus, and the differences are pretty obvious. Like I said, the paint job is more tuned to the movie, but there is some flaws. Like I said, it just feels a little bit more flawed in this form. I do like the retail release better in the vehicle mode. So yeah, I think that works. But I think the retail release works better. This one's okay though. I mean, it's not a horrible vehicle mode. It's just the paint job. I see what they're going for, and I do appreciate it, but I think they missed a little bit on this one. It's unfortunate, but a little less silver would probably have, well, actually, if they moved the silver to the right spots, this would have worked a lot better. Because I really would have preferred to have the silver on the mirrors and windows, rather than on these top bits and covering more than just the grille on the front. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it. It rolls nice, and it's a nice little cab. But why don't we get into the real meat of this set. The new iteration of the Classics Optimus Prime, which is done up in this nice paint job that really harkens back to the original toy. and seems to take some cues from Henkei as well. Most notably in the chromed grille and bumper, which look great. I do like that. Now there is a QC issue on mine. You may notice already, but one of the hubcaps didn't get painted. This side is fine. You got all three of them with the silver paint, but one tire did not get painted. That's easy to fix. Silver paint or a silver Sharpie will fix that right up. So it's not the end of the world, but it is a bit of an annoyance. That's more QC than anything, and hopefully it's just on mine. But it is something you need to look out for. Make sure that all the tires are painted, and it's going to be near impossible to tell from the box since he's in robot mode. Which I'll get into a little bit more detail later on. But yeah, this guy does do a great job of looking like the G1 toy as far as the paint job goes. Obviously it's a different type of truck, but that's... Classics never had one that looked exactly like the G1 toy, but it came close. Anyway, for a quick comparison, we'll start with the G1 toy. And just looking at them together, you can see where all the homages are. The blues are pretty close. That stripe along the body is done pretty well. And as I was saying, the chromed bumper and grille are present and accounted for. The only real departure that this one has over this one, aside from the wind vane itself, but that's again part of the Classics mold. So, but the only other departure would be the smokestacks are not chromed. They're not even painted silver, which that part kind of bugs me. But this guy's got enough chrome on him, so it's not that. Don't worry, he's got plenty of chrome on him. You'll see it all in robot mode. But yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity not painting the smokestacks silver. There is a reason for that, which you'll see later on, but I do think it was a missed opportunity. But we're still not done with this one, so there is another comparison, and that would be Henkei Optimus Prime. Now this was probably the go-to Classics Prime that people went for. At least for me it was. Henkei did a lot better job of getting close to the G1 Optimus than the Classics Optimus did. Oops, someone fell over off camera, so don't worry. But Classics Optimus had a little bit more liberties taken with him. But the Henkei version actually comes a little closer to the G1 self, or the G1 Optimus. So it's a pretty good one to compare this one to, since they're pretty much going for the same thing. And all in all, they do come pretty close to each other. And vehicle mode, I have to give this new version of the edge. I mean, it is a dead ringer for Optimus Prime, and I do love it. It's really nice. There was a lot of love went into this toy. I really wish they gave some of that love to the Evasion mode Prime that came with them, but at least this one got a lot of love. Now, for fun, we can switch the weapon, switch the smokestacks, since they just pop right off. Let me get this one off. I'm just going to pop this one on. And if I can get it on there, yeah, there we go. And yeah, here you can see Optimus with silver smokestacks, and I think it helps. It's probably not the biggest deal, but I do think it helps. The flat black on the smokestacks was a bit of a problem for me, but yeah, I mean, even on Henkei, that black plastic is not attractive as smokestacks. I mean, other than that, this is a real home run for the vehicle mode. And and there is more. Because while this one doesn't, this set doesn't include it, this Prime, Optimus Prime, was known for a trailer. And I think everybody who went for Classics Optimus knows that there was a company who did a really good job of making a trailer for this Optimus. That being Fans Project and their G3 trailer. And like I say, that looks awesome. And that is a really nice updated Optimus Prime. And I think the color choices go perfectly with the G3 trailer. So if you happen to have that thing, or happen to find it at a good price and can get this Optimus, having them together would be great. To help get that point across, why don't we bring G1 Optimus back and, give him that trailer that he is known for having. And as you can see, there is quite a significant likeness. The stripe is a little different, but that's okay. See, it goes up on the back on this one, and it goes down at the front for the G3, but that's fine. Nothing's perfect, but yeah. That trailer does help complete this Optimus. I mean, it'll complete any Classics Optimus, honestly, but I'm getting a little off topic here. Yeah. Let's get this out of the way. Get him out of the way. Sorry, I'll get this all taken care of. But yeah, this is a really good iteration of Optimus Prime. Will look great on any classic shelf. But I think it's about time I got these guys into robot mode so we can see how they look in that form. So, one sec and we'll get them transformed. And now that we got Movie Optimus in his robot mode, this is where the figure really shines. While the vehicle mode was a little lacking, the robot mode really is impressive. It does a good job of bringing out the Movie Optimus look. And it's kind of hard to explain, but it's there. I mean, it feels like it's the Movie Optimus from the first 3 movies. Probably not the most perfect iteration of it, but still looks really good and is well done. I like it. As you can see, there's a lot more blue on him in this mode than there is red. And much to the disappointment of many, he still has the unmasked face. So, yeah, you're not getting the Optimus with battle mask here. I know some people were looking forward to that, but it's not here yet. So, I guess we're waiting for that big 5-pack that's going to cost an arm and a leg. Still, the rest of the figure looks really good. You got the arms that are done in not just blue and red, but silver as well in between, which actually works for it. This is also, unfortunately, why there is silver bits on the cab mode. But, you know, that's okay. I like this look. So, but we also have blue chest, well, with the clear detailing, so that looks pretty nice. Kind of wish they didn't paint over the windows on this one. It would help to bring out the clear plastic a bit more. So, but you know, that's okay. I'm not gonna gripe too much about that. His thighs have some silver paint on them to bring out the shine a bit more. And the legs actually have some of the flame detail on them, and he has silver feet, much more like the movie Optimus, which is really well done. Again, I like it. I mean, the robot mode really does work for me on this. And there is actually a nod to G1 Prime in the shotgun. As you can see, he's not quite holding it by the handle, but by the, the ammo clip. Which actually goes back to G1 Optimus, his gun, where he actually held it here instead of the trigger, like the handle that was behind it. The handle was pretty much decoration in this thing. But yeah, that gun is actually a nice little nod to G1 Optimus. Especially now that it's painted black. The missile still fires okay. It's actually a pretty powerful missile. So yeah, that's nice too. And for comparison shots, why don't we bring in the standard Evasion mode Optimus. Now, while Evasion mode Optimus does have its strong points, you know, it does feel a little closer to G1, but not quite there. Like this Evolution 2-pack version, just has a little bit more pop in this form. And I'll even go as far as to make it, kind of makes the retail version look boring in robot mode. That might be a little too far, but it's just the impression I'm getting right now. The color scheme on the new, like this Evolution 2-pack version, really does pop more than the standard release. And kind of felt the same way about Grimlock, which caused me to avoid buying the retail release of Voyager Grimlock. But yeah, since I have this whole comparison, it really does show that these Evolution 2-packs had a good bit of love put into them. I just wish that this Optimus's vehicle mode got a little more of that love. I mean, the robot mode is great. I do like it. And if I was going to display these two, I'd display him in vehicle mode and him in robot mode. And I think that would work very well. But other than that, I think it's about time we got to the more old school of the two. So let's bring him in. Oh, yeah. Make sure I grab the right one. Okay, so yeah, here is our G1 representative, who I will dub as Mr. Shiny Pants, for obvious reasons. But in all seriousness, they really went for the toy look on this guy. I think they went all out for that look too. I mean all the paint details, the chromed legs and codpiece. I mean, the paint apps, and like I said, I mentioned them already, but dang, they really did go all out. I mean, they even painted his eyes yellow, which is a serious throwback to the G1 toy. The color scheme is spot on. I mean, the paintwork is nice. I mean, some may consider it a flaw on this toy's part for having silver arms, but that's actually that's not a flaw. That's actually another nod to the G1 toy, who had the silver stripes on the arms. Those silver, like the silver bicep parts, really do homage that. And kind of wish he had an Autobot symbol on this shoulder as well, but you know, it's common for Optimus to have one symbol on one side. But you can see the detailing on the chrome. That is intense. The kneecaps actually have some some paint apps that are reminiscent of the G1. The toes have some paint apps, which the NK and Classics versions didn't have. I mean, they went all out to really make this feel like a new version of the original toy. So I appreciate it. I really do. I think they did a great job on it. And on that little QC era issue I brought up in vehicle mode, it's kind of hard to notice in robot mode with the way these flat pieces are kind of covering up the tires. So it's not even an issue in robot mode, and that makes it kind of hard to tell the issue in the box because he's packaged in robot mode. So yeah, you gotta keep that in mind. Now, there is a flaw to him, and this is more of a QC issue again, but he has... Oh yeah. He has really loose shoulders. Those shoulder joints will not hold positions except for maybe specific spots where it seems to get tighter. But yeah, he can't really support the weight of his own weapons, which is unfortunate, but that could be fixed by some floor polish or something else to pretty much add some more friction in the joint at this point here. It does require some disassembly to make sure you get the substance in the right spot, but other than that, it's pretty... that would pretty much do the job of tightening it up. Now I'm going to bring in the G1 Optimus for a comparison. And I hope you can see what I was referring to. And yeah, first we'll start with the face. Yeah, those yellow eyes on the original. You can see the stripe, how it comes close to where the bicep is on the Classics Optimus. And you can see that G1 Optimus has very shiny legs too. And the grill pretty much became the codpiece, so that's where that chrome came from. And the knees have stickers, which the kneecaps pretty much have paint apps that look pretty close to it. I mean, see that silver bit on this from the sticker? They actually put silver there. And they painted they put the sticker on the toes, so they put a paint app to match. And yeah, it's not a direct match to the sticker, I know. I mean, if you take a close look, there is some blue paint in between the divots on that silver bit, which comes close to the blue stripes. So again, they actually tried to get this guy as close to the toy version as possible, which is why the smokestack's gun is actually black, to make it look like Optimus Prime's gun. Personally, I would have preferred if they went the route of the Cloud Optimus and made the wind vane black and kept the smokestack guns silver. That would have probably been a little bit better, even though that might have had a negative impact on the truck mode. I'm not sure how well a black wind vane on a red truck would go, since I don't have Cloud Optimus, obviously. So, but for another comparison, we'll bring in the other, we'll bring in Henkei Optimus. And wow, it is hard to choose a favorite between the two. They are both really good. I mean, really solid iterations of Optimus Prime, so it's hard to choose a favorite. But if you couldn't get this one, you really gotta get this one, because he is awesome and will look great on a classic shelf. I'm torn between them. I probably will stick with my Henkei Optimus for my classic shelf. I'm going to have to find a place for this guy, because he's that cool looking. I mean he's a definite contender for a classics Optimus. No doubt about it. And I do like him a lot. So it's a pretty cool toy. But yeah, I like it. I really do. So why don't we just do the one thing we should have done at the beginning of this little robot mode review, and actually put the two the two figures from the set together. Like so. Now, as far as Evolution 2-packs go, this is probably one of the best of them. And he's available only at Toys R Us for about 45 bucks. And honestly, for two Voyagers, that's a pretty good price. Especially nowadays when they're going for like 25 a piece. You're getting two quality toys for a little bit less than retail Voyager prices. Yeah, it's only about like $5 less than what you'd be paying for a retail, like 2 retail Voyagers, unless you're in the right spots. But yeah, I mean, still, it's a worthwhile set, and I would. This is an easy recommendation. I mean, if you never had a chance at Classics Optimus Prime, get this set. This is worth it, just for that. You know, Evasion Optimus is good if you're curious about the mold. Like I said, the robot mode does look a little bit better than the retail release, but the vehicle mode does not look better than the retail release. The retail release looks a lot better in vehicle mode than this one does. So it's yeah. Movie Prime is a hit and miss. Classics Prime in this set is a home run. So, you know, you're going to have to decide for yourself if you think it's worth it to get this set. But I do think it's worthwhile. And I'd say go for it. So, I do hope you've enjoyed this review. And I will see you next time. So, take care. So long. And have fun. Bye.